guys, my name's Michelle. And I'm the out-of-the-box sales consultant. And I remember coming up with my name a long time ago because I love to teach you guys and show you guys how to think outside the box. Because really, that's where all the magic lies, is thinking different from what you learn. So all of you, how many sales seminars have you had? Anyone? Lots, right? And how many books have you read on sales?
A million.
A million. Okay. And so why wouldn't everyone be amazing at sales at this point? Since we've read so much about it, we've learned that it's very important. I'm passionate about that stuff. My degree is in marriage and family therapy. I love the human mind. I'm very passionate about teaching people to think better, to think differently, right? Because I feel like you can make a lot more money in less time and live your dream life if you can change your thoughts. You change your thoughts, you change your life, right? So these types of trainings I love, but what I love more is one-on-one training, because then I can get into the nitty-gritty, because each one of you, I promise, has a different wall up for why your sales aren't exactly where they need to be. Okay, because there's so many moving pieces now with social media. There's so much noise out there. Would you agree? There's like so many people going, hey, look at me. And everybody's kind of doing the same thing, but no one's really standing out. Crystal, I'd love to just point out Crystal when I walked in. First of all, she had a high heel right in front of her. Right? And every woman's like, that's you, right? Okay. She branded herself, right? And she told me she's a high heel realtor or something like that. And I was like, that's brilliant, because you want to have a personal brand. Okay. I'm getting into cold marketing in a minute, but I want to give you a little bit of the background that your brand is everything. For example, like there was a time I'm the sales diva on Instagram. And it's funny because if I didn't give myself that name, it sounded really cheesy here in Utah, because people are like, you're a diva. That just sounds weird. People will not respect you. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go with who I really am. I'm into fashion. I love helping people. I'm very loving and caring and bubbly and all over the place. And you know what? I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go and be myself. I'm not changing for anyone. And I promise there's power behind that. Because if you learn who you are and how you want to do things, for example, how do you want to sell? You're going to sell different from the next person. So I'm very passionate about an order of things that have to take place before you become very successful. And so when you take a course with me, for example, the very first one is your limiting belief. You go into personalities, and there's lots of layers to why people are doing sales. So yes.
So I want to notice something going on with you, and I loved it pointed out, because when you say you're in the fashion, I saw these and I'm like, those are sweet. So can you guys show me yours?
Oh yeah, my Chanel.
Like, holy crap, dude! Like, that is sweet.
Yeah, Chanel Michelle was my nickname in high school. And yes, I've been wearing brand names since high school, because I'm from Orange County, California. And all of us wore the brand names in California. I mean, you couldn't even drive by without saying Lamborghini, Mercedes, BMW. So in my defense, I was raised with this. Sorry, but I'm glad it's back in Salt Lake. It wasn't here for a while. They're like, what is that brand? I don't understand. I'm like, that's Gucci. It's Gucci. Oh, I saw it in a TikTok. He's like, you know, that's a Salt Lake. But anyway, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. And so
That's for you to take theater. So
sorry, I walk a lot.
No,
You hear me? Okay. So basically, where was I at? Oh, gee, I lost my train of thought.
sorry.
Oh, no, just that your brand matters. And I remember coming to Utah, and a lot of people, when they started my consulting program, they were very, the feel of Utah is like, I can't do what you do, or I can't pick up the phone and just talk, or, you know, sales is so scary. I mean, I became a sales coach because of moving from California to Utah, and everybody's entrepreneurial and they're in sales, but they're terrified of sales. And I just wanted to get everyone, my number one thing is to get you guys to fall in love with sales, to make it fun, because all of us are selling ourselves. We're selling ourselves every time we meet a friend, when we're on a date, anything that we do, it's like, how are you coming across? I'm going to look at you and put you in a box, right? I hate boxes, but we're going to put people in boxes, and we're going to assume they're one way based on what we see, right? And so you might as well just go big and say, I'm the high heel realtor, I'm the red suit realtor, I'm sales diva Michelle, whatever it is, to stand out, right? Because there's a lot of noise out there. So marketing's always been near and dear to my heart, because you can give yourself pay raises by doing one little tiny thing from home that really is not going to take you a lot of time. But first you have to believe that what you're doing is something of importance, right? And so cold lead marketing is one of it's step 7 in my 12-step series whenever I do my consulting program. And it's kind of in the middle for a reason, because first it's the belief, then it's knowing who you are. Then I start, your calendar is your boss, is the one right before. Your calendar doesn't have to be on your phone, it can be here. Like my generation, if it's giving it away, I like to see my day. I'm a visual learner and I'm a little bit older than most of you. So I like to look at my day this way. So your calendar is your boss. You should be putting stuff in your calendar every night before you go to bed. You should have a step-by-step plan on what you're going to do the next day. But you're not going to have that if you're not doing these creative outside of the box things throughout your day, right? And so cold market is like, what do I do, Michelle, when I'm sitting there and no one's calling me? I don't know how I'm going to get my next deal in the door. I went to those sales training, but it's not something that I'm dealing with. Sorry, I keep walking away from the speaker. Sure. I walk and talk. I also talk with my hands. I'm Latina. So the cold market is near and dear to my heart, because when I went into sales, you guys, I promise you, I remember thinking at the sales training, it was paychecks. Actually, it was Cisco Food Service was my first sales job. And the sales trainings were so long. And I remember they were going through things that successful sales reps do. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit and call on the phone for that many hours, right? Or you go, I don't want to do that piece of it. And at the time, I'm a pleaser, so I was doing what the boss said to do. So I kind of did what they told me to do. And I learned really quickly that there's certain things that I'm better at than others. How many of you guys feel that way? It's like, I don't mind going to meet people live, but I don't want to sit here and call a bunch of people I don't know, and vice versa. But I will tell you, there's power in learning all of it. And I'll go back to that. And it's because you're going to be faced with, I need to pick up the phone. Just like Jen said a little while ago, pick up the phone. Why don't people pick up the phone? Well, that's my third step, usually in my program. It's communication. You don't know what to say. You don't want to sound cheesy. You don't want to sound like you don't know what you're talking about, or you're trying to sell them something they don't need. So that's why people don't pick up the phone. It's because they don't know what to say. And literally, I would love to do a training on this where there's a phone here and you guys bring me your dead leads. I have a dead lead pile mastery program. And I show people how to have a different conversation.
Hello?
And hello?
It is.
I think she should. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. I thought they were talking to me.
Hey, Ray, Pio, can you mute yourself? Hey, wait. Okay, there we go.
Sorry. Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Dead lead.
That was a dead lead. Yes, that's in the dead lead pile. So like dead lead. So communication of calling someone is huge. The minute people learn what to say and they're creative, and you have to think of it this way, what would the person feel that's answering the phone, right? So what would, if you're worried about calling, for example, we're going to go into like calling, social media a little bit. We're going to talk about that, cold leads and all of it. But if I'm calling a cold lead list, that means like, I don't even know who I'm calling. It could be like, here's a bunch of people that own a home, or here's a bunch of people that don't own a home, they're renting, right? Let's just say you gave me a list. These people are renting. What do you do, Michelle? And this is like, my secret sauce is like on a fly, I can figure out what to do. And I want you guys, I would love for all of you to think this way, because it's like, if you're given a new like challenge, eventually you'll just go at it if you get the skill set to go at it properly so that you're not nervous, right? So it's people that literally are renting. They need to own a home, right? Don't you guys believe that they're throwing away money on rent? Who wants to throw away money on rent? When you can own something, Airbnb it, you can do all these creative things with your investments. But people aren't there yet. And that's why putting yourself in their shoes is so important, because just because we believe something, if we give the energy that we know more than people, what does that do to people? It shuts them down. It makes them uncomfortable. They're like, who's this Jen girl? She thinks she's going to sell me something. Like, good for her. She's successful. She has no idea what I'm going through. And I don't like that she's talking at me like this. That's what people do. And they go like this here in Utah. And they see, it seems like you have, well, it seems like you have their attention, right? They seem happy and they seem like they're with you, but really they're not there. We're all learning at different levels. And that's why I don't like boxes, out of the box consulting. When I first came up with this brand like 15 years ago, I remember, I don't know, like take me out of the box because I don't fit in with any of it. Because if I fit in with the way the box is supposed to be, I'm not comfortable. If I'm not comfortable, I'm not confident. If I'm not confident, I'm not picking up the phone. I'm not going to that networking meeting because I don't feel comfortable with who I am, because I'm trying to be all these people that I'm not. Okay. So the reason this is out of order, one day I want to train you in order, is because it'll all make sense. But it's because we don't belong in boxes. We all have different personalities, different generations, different genders. We're raised by different parents. We have different religions. We don't belong in boxes because I can't sit and tell you just because it works for me, it's going to work for you. And just like the things that work for me and you don't work for the other person. And that's something people don't talk about. And so my biggest complaint with big, huge sales trainings is that it's great ideas, but I want you to start thinking of sales trainings differently, because I want you to put 3 things, 3 nuggets every time you're with anybody. You could be like at a networking lunch. What's 3 things you learned? What's 3 things that you thought about during meeting with that person? And then I want you to write it in your calendar, because your calendar is your boss. That's your boss, your calendar, because it's you and your calendar every day. Jen doesn't know what you're doing. Nobody knows when you're waking up. Nobody knows our struggles with our kids. It's us, and that's it. Sales is all on us. It's about, what do you want in life? You know, are you watching your life pass you by? Are you online going, wow, there are 5 vacations this year, I haven't even taken one? That's a waste of time. And by the way, every thought, if you're thinking negatively or you're wanting something else you don't have, that's taking away from thinking positive and getting exactly what you want. So I know there's a lot of right? There's just so much noise out there. How many hours do we spend going, wow, they look so good? Do you boo? Do you boo? Which is what people crave anyway. 100%. And at first, you guys, when I moved here, I will tell you, I had my pink suit. I was at my BNI meeting. I showed up there and I felt like I didn't fit in, like you wouldn't believe. But guess what? A little part of me, I'm like, I don't care. They need to meet someone like me. They need to be friends with me, because there's no women here. First of all, this was 15 years ago. I'm like, there's not a lot of women. I tried to do a networking lunch and the men said they couldn't go to lunch with me without asking their wives, which is fine. You know, I was learning all this culture stuff because I came from California and networking. So little by little, I could have said, oh no, there's something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with us, right? It's the approach. It's learning about the culture, the person. It was my job to come into this state and learn about other people. It wasn't their job to like me. Here, listen to that again. Like, it's our job, whoever we call, whoever we're working with, me just training you. I need to connect with you and give you what you need. And it's hard in a group setting. It's easier one-on-one, because without that, you're not going to go and do anything with what I teach you. You're not going to go and take that step tomorrow if I don't, I believe, sit with you and make sure you know how to take the step. If you know how to take the step and we do it together and now you're comfortable, now you're able to move to the next thing you need to do. But if you're so worried about, I'm so uncomfortable, I need to be someone else, I need to be like that person, I need to be, you know, come across different. No, I could have easily said, I'm not going to ask people to lunch. I'm like, well, they wouldn't go to lunch. I'll go to a woman. I'll go here. I'll go there. I kept meeting people, right? And everyone's like, how do you know so many people? Well, no one invited me to their little circles when I moved here. Not one person said, come on over to my house. Not one. I created, come to my house, come and see me on Thanksgiving. It's an out of the box way to think about something. And how that plays into sales and cold leads is because there's people all around you. There's lists. I can give you a list right now. You can give me any list you want and I'll show you how to do on the fly a call that's comfortable and get a conversation going and find an opportunity to meet with them and maybe buy or sell a home for them or for a friend of theirs. Literally, you guys could be doing this all day. But why we don't do it, it's because we have these walls up and we don't feel comfortable, right? We don't feel comfortable with the activity it's going to take to do that. I don't know these people. I don't know what to say. So I spend a lot of time on telemarketing sales because it's phone and you need to know what to say. And it's not about us. Not one person cares where I got my outfit and my background. I can sit here for an hour and tell you my background. Someone might be like, that's interesting, she went through that, but no one cares about us. They care about themselves. We all have our own challenges and we're going through our own crap every day. So your job is to be so genuine and know yourself that when you talk to someone, they know that you're human, but you're also, you don't back down with what you're doing. You are confident in being the best agent. You know that your high heels are going to take them to the best house. And your cute little branding is going to make them remember you. So come up with something that is unique to you and live it, you guys, because you guys can be posting for free out there. Who cares if people say that's not professional looking or whatever? It doesn't matter because it's noise. Make enough noise and someone will watch you. I have people come up to me at Costco. You guys, I'm not popular or anything at all. There's nothing special about me. I didn't write some big book or anything, but everybody knows who I am. I'm like, they're like, are you Michelle, that sales TV? You're always, because I'm always online saying something. I'm talking about my family, my kids, sales, anything, because noise is algorithms. They go up when they see you, right? And then they go like this. I'm comfortable with her because I see all angles of her. It's not just like, oh, sales is easy. No, I talk about everything hard. I talk about relationships. So it's really important to first know who you are and put it out there, right? So those are things you can do. Tip number one, start posting. Post on a Sunday night for Monday morning. That's the highest eyes you're going to get on your posts. The algorithms are very interesting. And if you post at least once a day, they let more and more people see your stuff. So post something every day, right? Look up something about the market for you guys and say, this is a great tip. I'm going to make it funny. Maybe you're the funny realtor and you guys come up with funny tips on the market. Yeah, no, they say whatever, the market's down, but Jen just told you some stats a little while ago. To me, that doesn't sound like the market's down. When people tell me something's crashing, I say, huh, maybe for you, but not for me, because I know how to do activity. Amen, you guys. Activity is king. Calendar is boss. If you know how to do activity, it doesn't matter how hard it is. What's hard is the easy leads are not going to fly in the door. Yes?
Not posting on a regular basis, you're invisible. You're a ghost. Because it's online, that's just our world.
And how many agents are there? My husband told me so many times, be an agent. I go, no, like half my friends are agents. I won't take their business. I'm like, I like to train about sales. And I like, by the way, when you hire me, I'm doing sales with people. I'm doing sales in so many industries. What's interesting is I'm in sales in all kinds of industries all day because I am putting my money where my mouth is. I don't just talk to you. I like, let's do it. I'm going to get you an appointment. I get on the phone. I get stuff going for you guys. And the reason why is because everybody needs a Michelle in their back pocket. We all need someone, all of us. The most successful person, you know, I promise, is probably the most lonely because they have to be there for everybody else. But who's in their back pocket? Who can they just like tell something to without any judgments? So I created my program to do that because nobody does that. Nobody's a sales coach that actually goes and does the work for you, goes in the field with you, picks up the phone with you, brings lists that you don't even have to you. I do all that. Why? Because I already know that companies say, here's your goals, here's some training, you're off, right? Nobody like dug into the person to ask them, well, what's easy for you? What's not easy for you? Let me go with you. Let me show you how fun this could be. But first I have to test you. I need to know what your personality is like, because your personality is not going to be like mine. I might love to go to networking groups and meet new people. And you might be like, I don't want to meet new people at all. So guess what? For me to tell you, you have to network when you don't like meeting new people is a bad way to train someone. So I like to give you all the tools, but ideally you want to be comfortable in all of them. So if I brought you to a networking group and there's a bunch of new people, you have no idea if they have an agent. You don't know if they like their agent, right? And forget all that. They might have 10 agents. Do you know who I ended up using when I needed someone? It's whoever was making the most noise that literally said something online that resonated with what I wanted to do. For example, the last property I wanted to turn into an Airbnb. So someone that was out there going, this is a creative way that if your place isn't getting rented out, turn them into Airbnbs. I'm like, just like their thought process aligned with mine. It didn't mean that I knew them. Granted, I usually use the person that I'm closest to, but I will tell you there's times that I use someone else because their expertise is different. I go and meet with people. I know lots of agents, right? Let's just say I have 5 best friends who are agents. How do you choose one of your best friends? That's hard, right? So at the end of the day, I'd rather not choose. I'd rather just be in alignment with whoever's bringing me something, right? So the more things you're bringing to people, the more things you're posting, the more creative you're being, the more that you're branding yourself, the more that you're putting yourself out there, people are going to not only gravitate towards you. Now, when you do your calling, they kind of know about you, right? I saw it. You see them looking at your stories. cold market tip number one. If someone's looking at your stories and they're liking your posts, write their name down. Okay, write their name down. And I want you, don't do anything with it, just write it down. I want you to start writing it down. Day one, try this for a week. Write the name down, start posting. Try to do it once a day. And I know that's a lot for people. So let's start with once a week. I don't know how much you guys post, but try to post every 3 days. Try to post once a week. Try to post every day eventually. But start writing down how many more people are seeing your story, and do stories. Stories are huge, and so are reels, because those get more exposure.
Seem to wear, you know.
Okay, so basically,
Instagram.
whichever one you're comfortable with, but ideally you want to post on LinkedIn, you want to post on Facebook, you want to post on Instagram. I am not a TikTok person. I know I should have been a long time ago, but for my industry, I only need 4 main companies and I'm full. I don't really need people all the time like you guys. So you guys can post everywhere all the time. So it's how much you want to spend. That's why I'm going to teach you how to think outside the box and do things quickly. Do your content one day, right? You're like, Michelle, what am I going to post? Okay, so on a Sunday, take 4 hours. And I want you to think, what do I want to post throughout the week? Well, this is going on. I'm going to do a funny video on that. Let's just say you're the funny realtor. Do a joke about the market and do that joke on a consistent basis about something. That way they're like, I'm going to go to that girl's page. She was funny. What's she got to say today? But be consistent. That's why your calendar is boss. So I want you to start writing that tip in your calendar is like, I'm going to create content today. If you want to create on Sunday, say content creating time, 4-hour chunk today. Or you could be like me, I'm like last minute girl. I just on the fly start talking. That's not everybody's cup of tea. The Greens like to plan. So plan it out, record it, sit at when you look hot, gorgeous, and you feel like your hair is good, you sit down with a beautiful backdrop and you go, today I'm going to record 5 different videos. I'm going to sit there and record about this, that. And then you put it to the side. And then now your calendar says what? Oh, time to post. I'm posting 5 times a week or 3 times a week. And you post in the morning, because in the morning, they get to see it all day. I'm horrible. I post at like 1 a.m. because I don't sleep. So I'm posting at the wrong time for a lot of people to see me. But if I really, what I tell my clients though, if you want everyone to see you, you post at the right times. We can get into that in another training because that's like a whole, there's so many things to just that. But if you ask me individually, I'll go into that with you. But basically, yes.
A quantum physicist in Malibu, California, and what captures his attention is dad jokes. I never. I thought that's too beneath him. He'll think it's silly. He'll think it's trivial, and you just don't know. Just throw something out there and see what resonates with people.
100%. And you're not all business, right? It's like I have family. I have like my cute outfit I just wore. Girls, this sale. It's $10, whatever. Thing. Be authentic and be real and be comfortable. And granted, there's so many times I post and I'm like laughing at myself. Like I'd be laughing at me. This is like ridiculous. Why am I even talking about this? That's what it's talking about. So guess what? It has not hurt my business. In fact, it helps my business with people that are like me. So guess what? I'm working with people that I like. They like me. I'm comfortable. I'm making money. They're making money. Like, who cares? You don't have to be like, oh no, I'm going to offend someone. Well, then let them get offended. They're going to get offended about everything. You know, people just get offended and that's not our problem. It's their problem. So cold lead first, that's all. I promise I'm going to train you guys in order. And then you'll be like, I already got my beliefs. I got this, and now I'm cold market. But when you do that though, and you put the stuff in your calendar, guess what? If your calendar is your boss and you're going to get fired if you don't do it, you're just going to do it. Oh, I got to post something. I have nothing to post. I got some ideas by watching other people. Now I'm gonna come up with my own creative twist on that idea. And you go out there and you just do it. You know, like I do half of my stuff when I'm driving. I have my little mount. I'm like, because that's the only time I can talk. I'm usually with people. I'm like, I don't have time to do that. Or like late at night, I look horrible. I'm going to be posting from my bed. Hey guys, I have a thought. I mean, you just get it in there. Who cares? Like get it in there because your algorithms go up and you guys need more of an audience. Okay. So now tip number 1 is you're going to take everyone who's watched your stories, because now you're posting on a regular basis, whatever that means, and whoever likes your posts, and you're going to write their name down. Okay. And then you're going to, that's your first step that you're going to get cold market. And I have so many ideas. Like, for example, you can go to the Chamber of Commerce. You can get a list of new businesses there. or new people. I'm thinking of B2B sales right now. But like, for example, in different industries, we sell like, screens or insurance services or whatever I've sold. I do all types of industries and services. But for Better Business Bureau, for the Chamber of Commerce, they have all the new businesses there. So new businesses, what do new businesses need? I'm pretty sure there's a person that just moved here that needs a house, right? I mean, they need a house, they need internet services, they need employees, they need insurance, they need a banker, they need everything. So for me, I get those lists and it's like gravy to me. I'm like, I can give 5 referrals with every call to all my people. So part of having me as your sales coach, I'm your sales coach for life, and I actually do sales for you forever. And because that's just how it goes, because I with one call, I could do sales for 5 people. It's so easy, right? Because I've already thought outside the box. And I'd love for you guys to be where I'm at, because you'll be like, wow, sales is fun and quick and easy. I can give my 3 girlfriends a referral and they're going to love me because you just ask a question. So you're calling that person. I'm going to give you a perfect little example. I'm all about role play, so you understand like how easy and creative this can be. But I call a person, I don't know their name. It's like John Doe. He just moved here. He has this business, A, B, and C business. I'm like, hi, John, how are you? You don't know me, but I represent the chamber and I love to say hi to new people, even though I don't represent the chamber. I do, right? Because I work with the chamber to find leads, but I want him or her to feel what? That I'm giving them something. I don't want to get anything from anyone, and neither should you. You want to start a conversation and ultimately give someone something. Even when you do a networking lunch with me, give me something. How can I help you? How can I help you? You give the person something. So when you're calling cold, you can give them something by acting like you're not a salesperson and you're not wanting anything from them, because nobody wants to be sold to, but every single person buys. Everybody buys. We're going to go to Target and we're going to buy things we don't even need. We're going to go to Costco and we can't get out of there without picking up something else that we didn't want to buy, because we want to buy. We just don't want people to sell to us. And now someone's following me around at Costco like, hey, did you see that? Did you see the plates are on sale? Did you see the toothpaste is on sale? I'd be like, I'm not going to the toothpaste or the plates because this guy's bothering me. Right? Do we all do that? It's the fear of loss. We do not like to be bothered. If someone's following me around at a shoe store at Nordstrom's, I just like get out of the shoe department. But if you're not following me around and you're busy, you're confident over there, and I'm seeing something I like, I'm going to go and buy it, especially if you say, do you have that? We have 1.5. And then you go back to your confidence. I'm like, excuse me, can you go get that? Right? Because they're not bugging us, but they're there. They answer the question. That's how I want you to see when you're calling cold market. They're picking up the phone from who knows where they're at. What's the first thing you want to know? Are you bothering them? Is it a good time? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bother you. Is this a good time? I just wanted to say hello. I represent the chamber. We work with new business owners, and I'm the girl I'm the connector, which this is all true, by the way. I don't have to say, hi, I'm a sales coach and I need some data for my trainings. I don't have to say that. I'm a connector in South Jordan. I want to say welcome. What services do you need? Who do you need to meet? I'd love to connect you with someone. And then I give them people that they asked me for, right? I didn't give them anything they didn't ask for. I called to serve them. They spoke. That's a whole training, 80-20 rule. Our job is to get people to talk. For 80% of the time, they need to be talking, not us. I know salespeople like to talk, but I'm training, so I'm talking a lot, but usually in a sales call, I ask the right questions and I'm quiet, because how do you know how to sell to people when there's so much noise? You don't even know their personality. You don't know what they want. You didn't ask them any questions, and you're just like, and that's why all of you and all of us don't like to pick up the phone blindly. We don't know what to say. What am I going to say to someone? Well, if you know what to say and you know how to ask awesome questions, stay quiet, and you know how to offer them something, you're not as uncomfortable to call cold market. So that's why these trainings are great, because if you learned all that and you actually did it 10 times and it worked for you, guess what? All of a sudden you have a lot more business and you didn't do anything different. In fact, you weren't spinning your wheels all day. I'm talking, you spend a half hour, 1 hour calling a day. I'm not talking like sit there all day, because I wouldn't even do that. You get bored, you want to get up, but just sit down and do a few calls, do 5 of them. I see that you're new. Make a new friend. Don't think I'm their agent. Just say, I want to make a new friend. I want to connect them.
And they'll say, are you Sarah Smith? It's like, who are you? Why are you calling?
Oh, I don't even say, are you? Hi, this is Michelle from the chamber. I'm the connector. Is this John? Thank you. You're right. You want to make sure they're comfortable. And that goes back to how would you feel if someone called you? So I'm cooking dinner. I'm in a bad mood. My husband's not listening to me, whatever. Someone calls me and they're talking slow and they're all about themselves. Hi, is this Michelle Macievic turtle? Click,
Yes.
hang it, gone. I don't have any time that's stressful. Now, if they're like, is this match the energy? I have a whole, we'll do a telemarketing training because it's a whole hour, but it's like smile and dial, match their energy. Because if you're not matching their energy, you're not going to know what to say. If they're hurried and you're like, and then the market took crashed, you lost. That's why personality training is so important to me. I'm like, a green doesn't want to hear our babbling ways. Like they don't think like us. All these different personalities, they don't even resonate with how we're doing things. So you gotta first figure out what the person on the other end is all about as quick as possible without turning them off. How do you do that? Your tonality is important. That's why women sometimes do a lot better on the phones over men because they're more bubbly and stuff. And it's really hard when people aren't looking at our body language and our face and our smile. It's hard to capture that moment where they don't want to hang up on you. But cold market, I love because if I can show someone cold market, how easy it's warm market and hot market, so easy. But cold market is just as easy. If you are able to be authentic, put yourself in their shoes, put the activity in your calendar, do the calls and practice. And then you'll start seeing like, oh my goodness, 5 people talk to me. I'm meeting with 2. You don't think you're going to be their agent because you're their connector. You're connecting them to the girls group if they're single for, and they have nothing fun to do in Utah or whatever it is. Connect people. And then there's a magical moment. It's the person goes, wow, you've been such a good resource to me. It's like Jen, she asked me last minute. I don't usually do things last minute, but she's my friend. So for a friend, I would, if someone else called me, I'm like, I'm busy because you got to plan ahead of time. But it's like, once you have a friendship, you can ask them for something and they'll do it for you. But you first, what? You do things for them. I never go to a meeting thinking, what can they do for me? I go, how can Michelle's skill set connect people to who they need to meet, right? And then if you do this over and over, all of a sudden you have people going, so you're a real estate agent? And then your confidence and your energy, you'll just be their agent. Why? Because no one else is doing this, you guys, nobody else. It's like people are calling when they need something. It drives me crazy. I don't go on LinkedIn because everybody wants something from me. I don't think anybody's asked me, what do I need? How can I connect you? What are your services worth? How can I provide for you? Nothing. It's all about that. I'm like shocked. Like everybody needs my training on here, but they all think they're perfect sales reps. That's not a good sales rep. You don't call people or inbox them with your thing. Hi, how are you? I see that you live on A, B, and C. That house is going down. Da, da, da. No, they're just like, delete. This person's annoying, right? You want to be like, hey, you want to say, could I use their service, right? Let's just say someone has a printing service and Jen uses someone. Why not throw the bone to someone new that you want to get in with? It's like, I'll use you one time. There's so many times I do that. I'm like, oh, do pest control. I don't even have a pest problem. But when I did, I'm like, that guy was a hustler and he really wanted business. I'm going to call him. Why? Why should I not call him? Because I know he's a hustler. I know he's at a networking group. I finally need his services. I'm going to call him. But then when he's there, guess what a networker does? A networker that's at groups meeting people. If you do something for me immediately, this is just me. Granted, I was trained. I was a director of BNI for many years. So I launched 17 chapters. I'm huge on networking, but I didn't like networking because people corner you and talk about themselves. So I stopped going in Utah. In California, it was different. When I first moved here, I'm like, I'm not going anymore because I'm helping everybody else and nobody's asked me anything. And I'm sorry, it's not that I want to be asked. I judge people on a high yellow. I'm an empath. I'm an emotional buyer. So if I'm not connecting with you and you're not trying to be a real genuine friend to me and you're all about your sale, it's not that I love your hustle, but I just don't even think of you when I need something. I think of the people that are heart-centered because that's who I am. That's why personality science plays into this, because if I'm a heart-centered person, I'm going to gravitate towards people that care. If I'm not, and I don't like all that mushy stuff, I'm going to gravitate towards transactional people. And so personally, you're a smart business owner or whatever, smart agent. I know that Michelle's this. So now you know a little bit about someone. What are you going to call me and say? You're going to say stuff that would be comfortable for me. Okay. So cold market. What does everybody want to know when they're new to any place? What do they want to know? Any ideas?
Where's a good restaurant? Where?
Bingo. How about a restaurant list? Do you guys know that I have a movie list this big when COVID hit? What movies do you recommend? This is my personality. I'm on the Daybreak site, all these movies. I'm going to my note, writing all the movies. And then later, when I'm telemarketing, hey, you guys are stuck at home during COVID. I have this movie list. Can I share it with you? These are great kid ones. And it's like a cheat sheet. I love cheat sheets for everything. So give me bullet points for everything. But something like that is something that someone wants. And it's anyone would want a cheat sheet for a good restaurant. These are the best, my favorite pizza and tacos you get here. I have one of those too, by the way. The restaurant list is this big because I work with restaurants. And I'm on the new TV show called Dining Divas, and I'm going to be traveling into different markets and shining the light on the food establishments. So I love it because it aligns with who I am. But that's back with the diva thing. When I used to call myself sales diva, it was kind of embarrassing because it didn't sound professional. I'm like, I'm a B2B professional girl, but you know what? My personality is very bubbly and not professional at all. I don't fit in any box, but I'm professional. Does that make sense? Because in the professional world, I'm professional. With my friends, I'm easy to talk to with here, but all of it aligns. So then I wouldn't have this TV show. I'm going to go back to that. I'm taking a detour really quick because the high heel thing, I call myself a diva. These girls had a successful show called Dining Divas and Destination Divas, which is a travel show that's new that I just became a part of the cast. There's 4 of us divas. And I wouldn't even have been talked to at the seminar in Dallas. That's the sales diva girl. Oh, goodness. And then we saw you, plus you're women empowerment, blah, 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 right? So now the TV, it's not that I ever wanted to be on TV, but now I have a woman empowerment show about food and travel. Hello, those are on my list of my why. Why do I work so hard for that stuff? Fashion, food, travel. It aligned with their brand. We are very similar females, and now I get to be on the show, which could open the doors for all my other brands and all my people coming with me that I've always worked with, that I'm going to give shout outs to throughout. Do you see how it all is marketing? It's all marketing.
Well, you're always putting yourself out there that opens doors and opportunities for you. So it's like for me as your friend to watch these things open doors open to you and you're taking them. You're yes, I'll do it. And I love that about you because it's such a great example of like not sitting home expecting things to happen to you. You're going out and opening yourself up to things that could happen for you. And it's so beautiful. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm cheering for you. Like,
oh, you're so sweet. No, that's true. But like in my head, I'm going, they didn't really want me there. Or I don't feel comfortable here. Do you see what I mean? So we do that. But the thing is, the minute you go, you know what, though, this is who I am. And you look in the mirror, there's these exercises. You can literally look barefaced, no makeup, just completely vulnerable and going, I have to love me. I love who I am. I'm not going to be able to be what that person wants me to be. I can't be everything to everyone, but I know for a fact there's people that resonate with my type of training. And no matter what, this world is big. People say, I'm single forever. I hate hearing that. It's like, you're not single forever. You can manifest and have a husband tomorrow if you want one. You can have a date, 5 dates this week. You can make a new friend. Yes.
I just show up and people say, well, do you have the answers? Do you know? And I say, no, I'm just gonna dress up and show up. That's good.
Dress up, show up, ask a question, quiet. Dress up, show up, ask a question, quiet. 80-20 rule, ask questions.
No,
But that's how you get to know people. It's because everybody likes to talk about themselves. I can be around people who are so opposite from me. And I just try to dive into the world. I could tell this stuff's important to them. So, the lady that came in with the kids, it's like, do you have any more kids? Do you love, you just resonate with anything. I mean, there's some people, I train some people that just don't know how to do that. They're like, how do you come up with a compliment? And I'm like, okay. And then I'll start going, wow, people are, no, but here's what I think. There's, yeah, you're like,
but if you say, I don't know what to say, he was terrified of going on a date.
that's the biggest reason I'm a hands-on sales coach that goes, they're like, why do you go and hang out with people? Like, you're worth way more money. And I go, because I can't even figure out that the guy's like that, because in a training environment, he's not going to admit he's writing compliments down. I need to trust people. I need to know what you're really thinking. Granted, that's why I know everything about everyone, because they'd start telling you, boy, especially the men that don't go to therapists, but boy, I know it all. So I think they can't get those men. I'm like, oh, you can with the tactic. There's a way, right? You got to what? Even with getting that. Give to them. These people are broken. Give to the broken. Help them with the need. And then they'll like you back. It's very simple. People just show up like, I'm a diva. I got it all going on. I can't believe I'm still single. And the guy goes, I can't believe these women are all crazy. I have all this money and I have this car. And it's like nobody's connecting because you're not going and giving someone what they want to get what you want. Give what other people want, you get what you want. If I give you enough things to help you with your business, I could walk away and someone in this room and another room is going to be like, that girl Michelle could help this company. I will get an opportunity. Right. But if I sit there like, no, that doesn't fit my schedule. No, they're not paying me. No, I can make like 800 this hour. That's less money. If you always do that to yourself, you're missing the boat, because the more you're in front of people and connecting with people, the more you're going to have success in your life, period. End of story. So that's why cold market's fun to me. It's like, I could move to a new place. You can put me in any place you want. I could be all by myself. And I want you guys to take these little notes. The first thing I would do, here's a cold market big tip. I'm going to research the groups in the area. I'm going to research business groups, mastermind groups, B&I groups, Chamber of Commerce groups by city. Any of those things. I'm going to start liking it all on Facebook, right? Because the algorithms will show you more of it. I'm going to join the groups. I'm going to go to their things. I'm going to show up. Yeah, what's this all about? I'm going to know real quick if a group is a waste of my time or a good use of my time. But guess what? If I have the time, I'm going to all of them. Okay. So then I do that for a month or two. What do I do at the groups? I'm going to pick out some people. I'm going to connect with them. I'm going to give them something they don't have, whether it's a conversation with me, a girls' night with me, a date, whatever, I don't know, whatever you get, whatever someone needs, a referral to another business, anything, right? I'm going to go to them with what? If you go to people with, I'm going to give to you, you're not bugging people. You're only bugging people. It's all about you. So people are, yes.
Give a shout out what you just said to Melissa back here. She was trying to get them to know the agents better at Presidio and some other places. And so she had like this little thing at her house. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I got invited to this crazy. And it was like the most like connecting thing ever. And then I sat there with other people and I was like, holy cow, like we have similar interests. And I never would have talked to that person in a million years if it hadn't been for her like inviting us. So that's a very good point.
100%. And I used to sit there and go, no one's including me. The old me, it's all of us. I could sit here for a month and no one includes me to anything, right? When I first moved here. But guess what happened when I started including and I started creating and I started doing cute things at my house and I started bringing women over. All of a sudden, I became the go-to, and the go-tos, people want the go-tos at their tables eventually. I promise you that. Like with me being at a table, I can introduce you to the person you've been dying to meet, probably in one phone call. But I'm not going to do it for people that don't give back to me, right? So that's why my clients are first, family, God, family, people that have taken a chance to hire me and work with me, and friends, people have taken a chance to be connected to me. Those people are going to get everything that I have up here because I know how to do it. Now, the challenging thing is, how do I teach people to think like that, right? So in my 12-step series, it goes in order, but just with the 2 tips I taught you right now, writing the names, knowing how to call people in cold market. I'm going to go back to the one of writing the names on Facebook and social media, because those people know of you, right? So you're going to talk to them different than going to complete cold market. Cold calling, you're going to offer to connect them. If I'm a new in town and you call my phone, I don't know who you are. It's like, hey, connect people. I work with the chamber. I network with everybody. I want to make sure that you're connected with, where to go. Do you know the good schools? Where are you living? What schools are you going to? That's like a key for you guys. Oh, she wants to live here, there. They don't have a house. You're not asking, do you need a realtor? Who says that? Please don't say, do you need a realtor? No. Do you need a sales rep? Do you need a clothes for you? I know I have to say it online. It sounds really cheesy. It's like, I'm your high ticket clother. It's like, oh my goodness, that sounds so cheesy. But sometimes I have to be very direct, and I can be. Why? Because I'm your backup. You have to be the sales rep. I'm just helping you with some stuff you're not doing. But watch your words. Do you need this? No. Now Jen has nothing to say. Hey, do you get a sales trainer? No, we have people that volunteer all the time. Right? Is that what we do? And people are like, I need to network. And I watch them. I'm like, well, that's why. They walk right up. They ask about themselves, like, hey, animals like that. Awesome. They walk away. Now look at the difference. You do the things I taught you, you're getting to know them, whatever. Like someone like me would go, yeah, I don't have pests now, but like everyone in my neighborhood has dealt with it. There's a door-to-door guy, da, da, da. You know what I should do? I should start asking some of my neighbors for you if I just do a post on Daybreak, I'm sure 5 will respond and I'll give you their names. Why? Because I like him. He didn't bug me. He didn't try to sell me anything. Now he's my friend. Now someone like me with a skill set, I can get my friends whatever they want, right? Without them asking. So if you guys do all this, fast forward my 23 years of networking, sales, all that, and you just do it now, you go and say, how can I help you? Who can I connect you with? Write this question down. You meet with someone, who can I help connect you with? What do you need assistance with? Who can I help you meet? Go to my friends list on Facebook. If there's anyone you've been wanting to meet, I hope you guys are all taking notes because this is a good one. If there's anyone you've wanted to meet that's on my friends list, I'll be more than happy to set up the introduction. What if I went up to you and said that? And you're like, oh my goodness, I've been trying to get into the Vivint arena all year. And I'm like, oh, that guy's one of my best friends. What? Yeah, I'm having lunch with them in 2 weeks. Do you want to come and join? What? Bring me? Yeah, but if you came across all salesy and it's all about you for all these, I don't even think of you. I think of the people that do what I'm telling you to do. So that's why cold market can be so easy if you just change your mindset. Okay. Now back to the ones of people that kind of know you. Now that's a word track thing, right? So if they're liking your post, what can you say in their inbox? Thank you so much for supporting my post. What is it that you like most about what's going on in the market with A, B, and C? Do you mind helping me with some content? I'm speaking. What do you like most about what I said? Ask them a question, have them help you. But by asking a question, what do? You get this much or whatever, or response data to help you know how to work with that person and to know what that person needs. So communication, all of the stuff that I just talked about, cold market, it's all communication. It's communication and taking massive action and making sure that you're first comfortable in your skin to do it all, right? Because if you're not comfortable and you're like, I never called anyone for 10 years because I'm just not a person that calls anyone. I wait for people to call me. Then we've got to work on the belief factor, right? So that's like over here. So there's always layers to people, right? It's like, whoa, this person needs to go way over here before they get a wife or husband. They think they're over here though. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I'm successful. I have it all. I don't know why I can't connect on my dates. They're not aware that they're coming to the date, not making that other person feel that they're going to give anything to their life. And if people are so independently working without needing anyone to give to their life, they immediately don't feel they need anything, right? So if someone doesn't need anything, this is why I think dating is, I'm okay on my own. I don't need anything, but if you're a unicorn, I'll talk to you. I'm okay on my own. I don't need anything, but if you're a unicorn, I'll talk to you. But the problem is none of them know how to be a unicorn. And there's nothing that they're doing that the other person feels they're a unicorn. So all of a sudden they stay single forever and everybody thinks, oh, it's the men, it's the women, oh, it's this, it's that. Yeah, it's all of it. At the end of the day, are you showing up to anything, offering how you can help the person without being needy, right? And without talking too much. Like you don't want to talk too much and you don't want to be needy. You just want to be there as like a shadow to them. Like if Jen's in her office stressed out, and I come over and say, how can I help you? But I could do that. I could do that too. She's going to get more stressed out. If I just say, hey, Jen, I'll be right out there. I have my 2 feet in a car and I have no problem doing one of these things for you. You let me know what it is and I'll get it done. And I walk away. She already knows, thank God, that's what I needed, just like a support, but I don't have to explain to her. I don't have to like put my A game on for her. That's the energy that people like to be around. It's like, I'm here for you, but it's okay if you push me away too. I'm cool. Got it. So do you guys have any questions? I gave you guys 3, but with the time, I think, how much time do we have? We're out. We're done. So with the time.
Your cell training, your 12-step thing.
I have different, depending on what you need. I have one though, that's actually all encompassing of my program as a sample. It's usually 1,000 and right now you can have it for $500, but I sit with you guys for 3 straight hours and we go through a mini program in one day of what I do in 3 months. And then I have my monthly program, which you pay monthly for 3 months. And then I help close for you. We do profit split. So I'm on the phone for you with that program. I'm kind of like your sales director and director of training within an individual. But with individuals, you just need the it's like 3 to 5 hours. And then I follow up with you. So I teach you, we do some calls, we do stuff together. I put the stuff in your calendar during that time. So I kind of do my whole program as quick as I can. Then I follow up with you one more time and make sure you're doing the things and you've gotten more leads. So that one is $1,000, but I can do it for you because you're a preferred vendor for 500.
You have cards?
You can go, I have a QR code because I don't do cards. So if you guys want to get my information, you can come up to me with your phone. My information will go straight to your phone and send me a text. Sales Diva Michelle. Yeah, thanks you guys. Thank you for having me.
I think it's true. I mean, for our announcements in the beginning, so how can those of us online get your info? Should I tell them to go to your Instagram?
Well, I can give you my phone number.
Okay, perfect. What is that?
Diva Michelle on my Instagram. Or I'm gonna.
What's your phone number?
Okay. 696
696
9123.
9123.
Thanks, Jackson, just for training. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to text me. 696
That's
9123.
You can be a Michelle,
Russia, yes.
Ellie.
Michelle, and then at Sales Diva Michelle on Instagram. Sales Diva, yeah. Michelle.
It just resonates with who I am. I am not gonna fit no.
She so doesn't, but she stays true to herself, and I love that about her.
Husband, this is now, it's when, yeah, active listening, and he does what you said, he comes in, this is all about checks and business, and
I'm not very good at making.
I don't wanna deviate, I don't wanna talk about, and
Like, it just becomes sales rep, because they here's the thing about Lily, they don't ever get to